Alycats and you viewers. So today is another episode of Inside Alyssa White, and it's number 2. Yay! So I hope you enjoyed the first part. If you haven't seen it, go watch it, and I'm going to start answering questions right now. Chris P. asks, you're a new character in Mortal Kombat, so what's your character's name? Let's see, the Alyssa Raider. Give a brief description, attire, special moves, and what would my fatality be? Well, my attire would be a very, very Catwomanish looking bodysuit, and my special moves would be pulling cats from out of nowhere to attack people. And my fatality would be sending a huge, huge clouder of cats toward my opponent and having them claw them to death. There we go. And Sugar Candy asks, who is my favorite girl video game character aside from Lara Croft? That's pretty hard. But I really, my favorite playable female game character would probably have to be, I would say Ellie from The Last of Us. Ellie was very strong. She could take care of herself, and even though you didn't play as her the entire game, when you did play as her, or if you played the DLC, she was totally capable of handling herself, and she was just awesome. And my favorite NPC female character is definitely Miranda from Mass Effect. She was my best friend in Mass Effect. Very loyal. So I loved Ellie from Last of Us and Miranda from Mass Effect. And let's look for more questions because I didn't prepare ahead of time. Okay, Keegan Hauer asks, do you like Rob Zombie? I have never seen one of his movies he's directed, and I haven't listened to his music, so I can't say I'm a fan because I just haven't listened or watched, but I will definitely check him out if you give him a good recommendation. And Dean Winchester, who I know who you are, but I fangirled over your username until I found out who you really were. He asked, he's got several, and he called me Alyssa. Yay! I love it when people call me Alyssa. Anyway, his first question is, has there been a video where the story has made you feel emotional and shed a few tears? Do you mean like a YouTube video? Because, I have watched a few YouTube videos like that were very inspirational, like the Draw My Lives, when those were a huge trend. Some of those really got me teary-eyed. So yeah, but I'm usually pretty tough when it comes to watching stuff. But usually if it's a true story, sometimes they'll get to me. 2. If you could have a game come out from one of your favorite television shows that isn't out currently, which would you choose? I don't like playing tie-in games. I love Telltale's The Walking Dead, but that's not based on the TV show, that's based on the comics. I am excited to see what they do with Game of Thrones. I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan, but I'm a little worried too because they're working on Tales from the Borderlands, Walking Dead, The Wolf Among Us, so I don't know how that's going to turn out, and Cyanide Studios kind of messed up Game of Thrones with their RPG they made. I also would like to see a Firefly game like from Telltale, but again, I don't know how that would turn out. So I'm very wary about tie-ins. And the last one is, if you could develop your own game where you could voice your own character, what would the storyline be about? I'd probably make an action-adventure game, and I'd make myself this badass female woman who is the main character, who just, takes care of herself. She doesn't need a man's help. And, she just kicks butt. And she looks hot. There we go. Is that good? Okay. M. Decker asks, what game have you never played and wish you could play? There's a lot. There's a lot. But one that has come to mind, and this is going to sound really stupid, but I've been wanting to play Hatsune Miku Project Diva F for forever, and I can't find it anywhere, and if I do find it, it's ridiculously expensive. But it's a rhythm game, and it's based on the Vocaloid character from Japan, and it just looks so good, and Hatsune Miku is so adorable. I've been wanting to play that for forever, and I've also been wanting to play, like, the first Castlevania, Lords of Shadow. I've been wanting to play some of the Lego games. There's so many games out there that I want to play, and I just haven't been able to. But eventually I will. And he also asks, if your life could be a video game, what genre would it be? Well, currently it'd probably be either a simulation game or an RPG, because my life is not that exciting right now. If it was exciting, it'd be an action-adventure game, but right now it's going to be either a simulation or RPG. I don't know which yet. I don't know. I don't know who would want to control me. Okay, do not answer that. Don't answer that. And UCG91 asks, do I like the fighting game genre, and if so, what games have you played in the genre? I like some fighting games. I loved Bloody Roar when it was on the PS1 and PS2. I wish they would do a reboot of it. And I really did enjoy Injustice Gods Among Us, but I'm not a huge fighting game fan. I'm not a big Street Fighter or Tekken or Soul Calibur fan. But I do enjoy Bloody Roar, and I loved Injustice. So there you go. On to the next question. Project Gaming Mayhem John, who has been an Alycat for a while, he says, hello Virtual Friendo. Hi Virtual Friendo. He asked the first question, if you could choose one game series to be completely rebooted, which one would you choose and why? I've already mentioned Bloody Roar, so I'm going to pick a different answer. I'd probably say Blood Rain. I loved the 2 Blood Rain games on PS2, even though a lot of people gave them crap. But I loved them. I loved being a vampire. I loved having to drink blood to restore health. And I loved the combat, so I would love to see a reboot. I know they did a side-scrolling game a couple years ago, but that's not what I mean. I mean like a true Blood Rain reboot. Maybe like with RPG mechanics or, just another action-adventure game, but one that has really solid mechanics and that's just so fun. And I mean, there's really not that many vampire video games out there, I love vampires, but there's not a lot of video games about them out there, so that'd be super duper awesome. And the second question is, do I plan on visiting California again? If so, we should hang out and go to Disneyland. I would love to go to California again. California is my favorite place ever, especially Los Angeles, and I want to go to Disneyland so bad. You have no idea how bad I want to go to Disneyland. I'm a huge Disney freak. So yes, I do plan on going back sometime. I don't know when, but I'm going back, and I would love to actually move there because I love the city. I love just everything about it, how beautiful it is. Even the dirty parts of LA are beautiful, and I love how sunny and warm it is. And I love that there's so many things you can do, and there's so many people to see and meet. And I mean, it's one of the most beautiful places ever. I know some people hate it. I completely understand, but I'm a city girl at heart, and I love it. I love it so much. So yes, I'm definitely going back sometime. And yes, we can go to Disneyland. And let's see if there's any more. Yeah, I should prepare more, but you know what? I don't, because you know me, I just don't. Scholar B, this isn't really a question he asked, but he asked, how are you so nice and friendly? I keep a lot of my anger and stuff balled up inside. I'm like the Incredible Hulk, except I'm much better, well controlled with my emotions. And Razor5313, this is the last question. He asks, better be he, because if you're no, I'm sorry. In your opinion, which game do you think is the most underrated I've seen? There's so many good underrated games, but 2 that came out last year, because I'm just going to narrow it down to last year. One was Remember Me. It was by Capcom, and it was the first game from Don't Nod Entertainment, which they sadly went into bankruptcy. But it was such a good game. It was beautiful, it had a good story, it had really unique combat mechanics. You could make your own combos, and you could do memory remixes. And a lot of people, complained about it being linear, but I liked how linear it was because it lets you focus on the story. If it was open world, the story wouldn't have been as prominent. And I think that's what the developers were going for. I could be totally wrong. But I liked how linear it was, and I'm really sad that they're in bankruptcy and they might never ever create another game again. Remember Me was fantastic. And another game that was really underrated was Metro Last Light, which was sent to me by one of my best friends, and I'm hugely thankful for that. I had played Metro 2033 and enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. Metro Last Light is one of the best first-person shooters I've ever played. It's tense. A lot of people say it's scary, but to me it wasn't scary. But I mean, it is very tense because you have to scrounge for weapons and ammo and health, and if you go outside you have to wear a gas mask because you can get radiation poisoning, and there's all these freaky mutants, and then you have to deal with people in the metro that are trying to kill you. It's all very tense. It's got a great story. It's a pretty lengthy game, and I mean, it's got a lot of replay value. So those are all the questions. So if you'd like to ask me a question, ask me a question, leave it down in the comment box down below, or you can tweet me, but make sure to use the hashtag InsideAlyssa, after your question. And you can ask me about anything. Games, movies, music, TV shows, what I like, what I don't like. Just ask away as long as it's not too personal. And if you like this video, please leave a thumbs up. Like I said, comment, ask questions. I love to answer questions. Subscribe. It's free. It's fun. We have fun here. Trust me. I would never lie. I would never lie. See, my nose isn't growing, so I'm not lying. And favorites so your friends and family, and tell strangers on the internet can see, because the more the merrier. And share as long as you do it nicely. I love each and every one of you so, so much. Thank you for your questions. Peace and kisses. Bye.